Manipulation is the weapon that women use more than anything else. It is so widely used, it's so widely employed that most of the time it goes under the radar, and society not only allows this to happen, this terrible behavior, but it encourages it, and it laughs at guys, and it laughs at people that do it. They're like, oh yeah, well, that's what's gonna happen. And we just look at it like it's some sort of acceptable behavior. And the thing is that when you manipulate somebody emotionally to get a result, you make them feel bad about themselves, and you coerce them into a situation and corner them through guilt or shame or emasculation or threats, that is massively toxic behavior, and it has no place in civilized society. There's no place where this is acceptable. And if this is happening in your life or in your relationship, I'm going to show you exactly how to get through this. In other words, I'm going to show you the game plan. I'm going to show you how the roadmap is that they go through so that you can notice what's happening. Because until you notice what's happening with manipulation, you're always going to be subject to it. And most guys don't even understand what's happening, so they get caught up in the game. And she wins and employs these tactics to him. And over the years, he loses himself. He becomes a shell of himself, and he becomes depressed, and he's always just working for somebody else. He loses himself in this relationship, just killing himself for breadcrumbs of affection. And so if you allow any kind of manipulation to keep continuing, you don't have a relationship anymore. You've got a power game. So the first step is don't react to it. Your reaction emotionally is what gives her power. It's what allows her to control you, because she's trying to control your emotional state. If she can control your emotional state, get you to feel bad about yourself, get you to feel guilty, get you to feel like you fucked up somewhere, then she can now tell you what the solution is, and then you go do whatever it is that she wants. And so if you want to not be manipulated, you have to get emotional resiliency. We talk about this in great detail in Soul Seduction or Broken to Badass programs. This is like one of the main things that we show you how to do, is how to root out manipulation in your relationship and get you powerful, a fucking badass in this, and how to pivot her back into her heart so she doesn't do this. The first one we're going to cover is tone. You all know the manipulative tone of voice. You can just tell it's coming. She'll just open her mouth and like, oh fuck, here we go. Sometimes all it is just how she closes the door, or how you can hear her breathing when she enters the house, or the footsteps that she's taken. You're like, oh fuck, here we go. And so you get to this place where you become very adverse to even getting into collision with her, because you know where it ends up. It ends up into this endless argument. We're constantly talking about things over and over and over again. And it's like you're just trying to describe to her and just show her, hey, look, I care, and I'm trying to do these things, and I don't understand why it's not enough. And I don't understand, I'm just doing it. And then you get frustrated, you get angry, and then you blow up at her, and then she starts to accuse you of like being abusive, or like she can't talk to you, or she's afraid, she doesn't like the tone of your voice. And so there's a series that she's taking you through, and I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So you got that bad tone of voice, that belittling tone, that emasculating tone, that shameful tone. And you know the tone I'm talking about. You can hear it in your head already. When that tone happens, know that you've entered the space of manipulation. The whole purpose of the tone is to get you on the back foot right out of the gate. She'll get into a tone and she'll say something, and the first thing you'll do is you'll react to it. Well, baby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, whatever. Or, yeah, but I was just trying to do this. Well, you don't understand, I was trying to, this is what we call defensiveness or correcting the record. And as soon as you engage in this, you're fucked. Now the frame is she's right, and you got to be on the back foot trying to explain yourself. You think that if you explain yourself enough, she'll say, oh, yeah, okay, well, if that's what your intention was, then I'm sorry, I stop. I didn't mean to be angry at you. But how often does that happen? Has it ever happened? Does she ever apologize? And if you look back at the series of conversations and record of what you've gone through with her, you'll realize that this never happens. Unless there's something really egregious where she just felt like she was way over the top, and then she came back and apologized. But it wasn't because of the shit that you said. It was because something happened, and she came back and said, okay, it was over the top, I'm sorry. And so the reason that she continues to do this is because you tolerate it. You allow it to be there. And guys don't realize how much power they have in a relationship. Typically, men have 100% of the power in a relationship, yet they give it all to her because she makes them feel less than. See, the thing is that if she wants to feel empowered in the relationship, she has two methods to do it. She can surrender into your leadership and gain your trust and intimacy. And then when she says something, you like, fuck yeah, baby, tell me everything you want to know. Like, I'll do whatever is required because you are so super important to me. You're like this foundational part of my life. Or she has to manipulate you to get control over you. To surrender into the leadership of a man requires a lot of trust. It requires her to really open up, to be very heartfelt, and to be very empathetic, and to be very vulnerable. And that's scary to a lot of women. So what they'll do is they'll try to manipulate you to control so that they can feel safe. Both of these things they're doing to feel safe. But when she does this game of control and manipulation, she also is now putting herself in this position that, yeah, she is in control, but because she starts to see you as weak and controllable, she starts to lose her attraction for you. She gets the safety, she also loses her attraction for you. And this is why you're like, well, why is the sex drying up? It's like, yeah, dude, because you're letting her walk all over you. So she's not feeling that you're strong and in control anymore, which means that you will never have the leadership position. And you're allowing her to do all this. Like, if you want to run the show, you got to run the show. You can't sit here and ask her for permission to do it because you're with somebody who needs to control to feel safe. And your job is to never let her control you. If she wants to feel safe, she has to open up to you intimately. And for a lot of you guys, you've gotten in a marriage where this is happening, this is what's going on all the time. And so you're going to have to play the game of, yeah, we ain't playing that game anymore. Fuck that shit, you're not manipulating me, and you got to shut that down. And so the first thing that comes up is the tone. The second that comes up is she's going to deflect. So let's say you need to bring something up. You got to tell her she's wrong. You got to criticize her. You're like, oh, I can't criticize my wife. She'd lose her fucking mind. Yeah, because you're over the target. So what does she got to do? She's got to employ all the defenses to get you off track. So the first thing is tone of voice. If she opens up her tone of voice and you back off, she's done. Good, she won. The next one is she's going to deflect. She's going to say, hey, what about you? You did this. Why are we talking about what I did wrong when we can just talk about all the shit you did wrong, bro? And so she'll do that. She'll deflect into something that you did. This is why she'll never let anything go. This is why she holds you in contempt for everything you've ever done wrong, because these are weapons for her. It's not that she forgot about it. It's not that she's not over it. It's because she needs to employ these weapons to keep you under her heel. This is why she'll bring up this woman that you looked at 15 years ago, because it works. She knows if she brings this shit up, you'll back off. Now we're not talking about the fact that she's flirting with this guy over here. Now we're talking about Stacy for 15 years ago. Now we're having a fight about Stacy for 15 years ago that we've had 15,000 times. See how that works? She got you upset. She got you talking about something else. She got you on the back foot. And now you're the fucking bad guy. So the first thing she does is tone of voice. The second is deflection. If you hold to it and say, hey, I don't like the fact that you were talking to that guy. And you're just like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, you were talking to that guy. Oh, you mean like Stacy from 15 years ago? Yeah, you talk to all the time. I'm always worried about you. It's like, no, we're talking about that guy right now. We're talking about that guy right now. We need to talk about that. So the third thing she's going to do is she's going to attack your delivery. I don't like the way you're talking to me. You're being abusive. You're yelling at me. You're like, I'm literally just talking to you like this. I'm not yelling, right? So she knows you're not yelling. She knows exactly what the game is. Guys sit here, we get caught up in this game that she's playing, thinking that she doesn't know what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. You don't know the game. And so she's using that against you. She knows that you're kind of ignorant about it, that you get emotionally riled up and you're easy to control emotionally. So she just keeps playing this game, hoping that you'll deflect and go off onto something else. And it almost works every time. In fact, if you're caught up in a manipulation cycle, it is working every time. And she's willing to go further than you're willing to go to be right. This is why she's never wrong. If she succeeds that she's wrong somewhere, then she loses. And so at this point, it's about power and control. She wants to keep flirting with that guy. She wants to keep spending your money. She wants to keep ignoring you. She wants to not have a conversation about why she doesn't want to have sex. And she wants to keep that away because she doesn't want to actually have to change. Because the change means that she's going to have to look within and actually do something different. And as long as you keep engaging with her, you get caught up in this manipulation, you keep sticking around, and you keep avoiding the collisions, there is no incentive for her to actually become a better person. There's no incentive for her to be a better wife. There's no incentive for her to actually take responsibility. From her perspective, you're not worth changing for. It's easier just to manipulate the shit out of you than I can go about my business, drinking wine with my girlfriends on the weekend while you bust your ass on your third company, and she can complain about how the vacation wasn't good enough, and the fact that you didn't do scuba diving this time. And you're like, what the fuck, woman, you're not working at all. How can you make any of these assumptions? But you can't bring that up to her because she knows how to work your ass. So she does tone of voice. Then she will deflect. If that deflection doesn't work, she will start hitting your tone of voice. Then she'll cry. Then she'll play the victim. I can't believe it. Nobody understands me, all this stuff. It's like, and then she'll start crying, like, I didn't mean to make you cry and all this stuff. You're going to hurt your wife's feelings. It's going to happen. When you have a collision with somebody, it's going to hit their ego, and they're not going to like it, and they're going to get upset, they're going to get angry, they're going to do all of these things, and it's going to hurt their feelings. The problem is that you've made her feelings your responsibility. This is part of the game. She says, if I can make him responsible for my feelings, then anytime I'm upset, he'll jump higher to fix it. I'll make him responsible for all the things that's wrong with me. I'm just upset. I'm not attracted to you because it's your fault that I'm not attracted to you. It's your fault that I'm upset. You just don't care. You can't see me. You don't hear me. It's your fault that I had to cheat on you. And you're like, what the fuck? How did that happen? And you took on the unspoken contract of, my wife's feelings are my fault. Yeah, dude, stop it. Your wife's feelings is not your responsibility. Your wife's happiness is not your responsibility. These are all these subtle games that are being played in the background that are getting you caught up in her game. And if you're an entrepreneurial guy, yeah, you'll play the game of, I just got to work harder and I'll turn it around. I just got to put more in. I just got to put more in. No, you just got to stop dealing with the bullshit. And because you're unwilling to walk away, she doesn't take you seriously. She doesn't have to. And between these games that she's playing with you, in these collisions, she's going to throw all kinds of stuff at you just to keep you off base. Snide remarks, subtle jabs. She'll talk down to you, to other people. She'll talk down to you, to the kids. She'll undermine your authority with the children. And all of these things is designed to do is just to wear you down. And wear you down it will. I don't care how strong you are. 15 years of this shit, you're like, it's just not worth it. I got too much going on at work. It's easier for me just to avoid being at home and just go build the business. The problem is now your kids see you as not there. Now your kids see you as this guy who gets beaten down by his wife. And now your kids normalize this behavior. And what do your sons do? They marry their mom. And then they come to you for advice. And what are you going to tell them? You can't, because you have no idea what to do. Because you fell for the same thing. You're still with this woman. People in your business are like, I don't understand why this guy's married to this woman. She's fucking awful. Your kids are like, I don't know, they fight all the time. Mom's horrible to him. And your daughters will learn to be master manipulators like their mother. And it's your fault. Because you were too afraid, you were too weak, you were too emasculated to say no and fucking mean it. So, this is your fault. 100% your fault. Because you tolerated it. What you tolerate, you encourage. When you tolerate bullshit in your relationship and you allow manipulation to happen, you are encouraging it. Not only that, but you are killing your wife's attraction for you, and you are preventing yourself from ever being in the promised land of this woman who is all over you, who loves you, who can trust you, who absolutely is sexually driven to be with you. She's never going to look at you as the best guy she could ever have. If she can control you, she's going to be like, yeah, this is the guy I got, but I think I could do better. Do you want to be that guy? No, you don't. You don't want to be the guy. You want to be a powerful guy. You want to be the guy who she comes to you for sex every once in a while. In fact, you want her to do it once a week at least. And then whenever you engage in it, she's always ready. When you allow all this shit to happen, you're fucking up your entire game of family. All of it. You want to turn this shit around? I can show you how to turn this around in a couple weeks. In Soul Seducer, this is what we do. Yeah, shameless fucking plug, because I'm looking at you, and I've seen this happen. I've dealt with this my whole fucking life, and I've seen this happen to my brothers, seen this happen to myself, and now I see this as a different way, in a very consistent and easily replicatable way. Do it every day. This is why the program exists, because I got tired of dealing with it. I got intolerant of it, and I said, fuck this, I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to figure this out. I'd rather be alone than deal with bullshit another day of my life. And so that's why it exists. And then I found out it works for other guys too. And I found out, oh shit, we can all do this. This isn't that big a deal. And so that's why it exists. That's why Soul Seducer exists. So check it out. Go click the link in the description below. I know you need to do this. I know you want to do this. I know you're sick of this shit. And you can keep doing this for the next week or month or year. Hell, you can waste another 15 years. It makes no difference to me. Or you can have a woman who absolutely adores you. A woman who comes to you for sex. A woman who is a pleasant to be around. Who makes vacations and stuff way more enjoyable. A woman who brings peace into your home. Who fights for peace instead of creates drama for security. You can have that. Or not. It's your choice. But you have to make the decision. Are you tired of being weak? Are you tired of being this guy who is under her fucking heel all the time? Or do you actually want to be a guy who commands respect? Or do you actually want to be a guy who actually enjoys his life, who enjoys being home? Whose family is who is pleasant to be around. A woman who loses weight and goes to the gym and puts her makeup and stuff on for you and not some other jack off. I've said enough, so do that now.